Hello everyone, in this video I will be talking about long division without any remainder. So there are 5 steps that you have to remember whenever you are doing long division. The steps are division, multiplication, subtraction, bringing down, and repeating. Okay, so there is also a mnemonic that I have written for you. This is the mnemonic. It will help you to remember these steps. So it's dragon makes surprising brown reddish. So if you memorize this, you will be able to remember these steps in here. So look at the first letter of each word. It's D, M, S, B, R. So D for divide, M for multiply, S for subtract, B for bringing down, and R is for repeat. Okay, so let's start with our first example. Our first example is 42, and we want to divide it with 2. Okay, so let's do it. So we're gonna start writing like this. So we have 42. We write the 2 in here. Now we have to think about the times table of 2. So if you don't know the times table, that's fine. You basically have to think of how many groups of 2 you need so you can make 4, or at least a number that is very close to 4. So we know that 2 groups of 2 will give us 4. So this 4, we are going to write this 4 in here. And this 2, so 2 times 2 is 4. So this 2 will come on top of the number we are dividing. So we are dividing this 4, so we write this 2 on here. So next, we did our division, we did the multiplication, and now we're going to do subtraction. So multiplication we did in here. So 2 times 2 gave us 4. So we wrote that here. Now we're going to do subtraction. So after we subtract this, we get a 0. So we just write it here. Then it says bringing down, so we're going to bring down this 2. Okay, next we just have to repeat. So we know that 2 times 1, it's 2. So we just need one group of 2 to make it 2. So we write this 1 on top of this 2 because we are dividing this number, and this 2 will come here. Again, we have to subtract because after multiplying we subtract, so we subtract and we have 0. Okay, and at this point we do not have to bring anything down because there is nothing else left, right? So the answer for this is 21. That's the answer. We are going to do another example. So we have 16 and we want to divide this with 8. So what will be our answer? So let's write down 16, we put the division, and then we write 8. Okay, now we cannot just work with 1 because this one, it's less than 8. Because it is less than 8, we need to think of these 2 digits together. Okay, now we have to think 8 times what will give us a number that is close to 16, or it is 16. Or you can also think of how many groups of 8 do you need to make 16. So we know that 2 groups of 8 will give us 16. So we're going to write this 2 on top of this number, and this 16 will come here. After that, we have to subtract as mentioned in here. So after subtracting, we get 0. Then it says bringing down, but we do not have to bring down anything because there is nothing left. Okay, so the answer for this is 2. Another example. So this is a 3-digit number and we want to divide 256 by 4. So we are going to start writing. So we have our division sign 256 and we want to divide this number. So again, we cannot just work with 2 because this 2, it is less than 4. So we can't work with 2 itself. So we are going to take these 2 numbers, 25, because it's bigger than 4 now. Now we have to think how many groups of 4 do we need so we can get 25, or a number that is close to 25. You can also think about the times table of 4 if you know that. So we know that 4 times 3, it's 12. 4 times 4, it's 16. Okay, so you can also think about the times table of 4. So we know that 4 times 5 is 20. We know that 4 times 6 is 24. And 4 times 7 is 28. So we cannot take 20 because that is less. Like that's a little too less, like compared to 25. So we can't also work with 28 because that's bigger than 25. So we can take 24 because it's pretty close to 25. So that means we need 6 groups of 4 so we can get 24. So we're going to write 6 on top of this digit. Okay? Then we write 24. And next we did our multiplication in here, but now we're going to do our subtraction. So after we do the subtraction, we are left with 1, right? Then it says to bring down. So we're going to bring down this 6. Now, again, we have to think how many groups of 4 do we need so we can get 16. So we know that 4 times 4 gives us 16. So we need 4 groups of 4. So we write this 4 here and we write 16. We do our subtraction again. We're left with 0, so no remainder. So our answer is 64 for this question. Last example, it's 6,390 divided by 5. So that's the last example that we are going to be doing for today. Okay, so let's write 6390 and we want to divide this with 5. So for this question, 6, this digit is bigger than 5, so we don't have to think of two numbers. Like we do not have to work with 2 digit. Because 6, this first digit, it's bigger than 5, so we can just work with 6. So we know that we just need 1 group of 5, so we will get 5. So 5 times 1 is 5. So we write this 5 here, and this 1 will go on top of 6 because this is the number we are dividing. After that, we have to subtract as mentioned here. After subtracting, we're left with 1. Then it says to bring down, so we're going to bring down this 3. Okay, now again we have to think 5 times what will give us a number that is close to 13 or it is exactly 13. So we know that 2 groups of 5 gives us 10 and 3 groups of 5 gives us 15. But we are not going to take 15 because this is bigger than 13. So we are going to be taking this one, 10. So we write here 2, okay, then we write 10. Next, again, we have to subtract. After subtracting, we're left with 3. Then again, it says to bring down, so we're going to bring down this 9. Now, we have to think how many groups of 5 is needed for a number that we will get that's very close to 39, or it is 39. So we know that 5 groups of 5 gives us 25. 5 groups of 6 gives us 30, and 5 groups of 7 gives us 35, and 5 groups of 8 gives us 40. But we're not going to work with these numbers and these numbers. We're going to take 35. You may ask, why not take 40? Because it's very close to 39. Well, we're not going to take 40 because it is bigger than 39. We cannot take any number that's bigger. So we can take 35, and here we're just going to write 7 and we write 35 here. After we do our subtraction, we are left with 4. Okay, and finally it says you're bringing down, so we're going to bring down this 0 in here. Okay, so we just bring down the 0 now. 5 groups of 8 gives us 40. So we're going to write here 8 and we write 40. We do our subtraction, we are left with 0. So our answer for this question, it's 1,278. That's the answer. If this video was helpful to you, then please hit the like button and also please subscribe to this channel for more videos like this. Thank you very much.